Hey guys, how's it going? I just wanted to put out another video because today I have some good slash bad news at the same time. It rained last night. Literally, as I uploaded that video, as it was being published this morning, it started raining. So as of the time of this publishing of this video, it rained the day before. Anyways, let's talk about that. So if we go over to our weather here, we can see we've already received 0.06 inches, or just over a millimeter of rain, millimeter and a half ish, and our barometer is showing pretty low. And this is the only rain so far we've had since we started tracking our weather. You'll notice that humidity is only at 92 right now, so rain doesn't have to come at 100% humidity. In the clouds, it might be 100% humidity, but down here on the surface, it can be lower than 92%. As long as it's just 100% where the clouds are and they become fully saturated with water, that's when it starts to rain. So the humidity up in the upper atmosphere is actually higher than it is down here on the surface. And we can see we don't have any wind right now, and temperature and such have all kind of stayed the same. So let's go back to my camera. All right, there we go. And so I wanted to talk about that because the past few weeks have been clouded over with smoky climate, and it's really thrown a wrench in our plans. We haven't been able to do much imaging, solar or astronomical observing. Everything's been screwed. So we've been ready to go, pictures ready to take, nighttime, daytime, everything was ready to go. And then it rained last night. I didn't think it was going to rain last night, and I made a mistake. I left this on the roof. This guy was on the roof this morning when it rained for about an hour. Luckily, it was just a drizzle. It was more than a mist, but definitely not a downpour. Everything's okay. I've taken the proper precautions to clean the whole thing out, dry it off. As you can see, here on the inside's nice and clean. There's no watermarks over the whole thing, so it's okay. But holy smokes, do not leave your telescopes out in the rain. Big mistake. I woke up this morning and I noticed that there was just a few drops coming down, and immediately I was like, oh no, I have to get packed up and run out to the observatory right now or I'm screwed. Thank goodness I did, because every minute counts with your equipment. And, it wasn't just the telescope out there. It was a camera, a couple cables. Luckily, my main telescope and the computer that it's hooked up to were underneath a tarp, because I always just leave it under a tarp when it's not in use. But the solar scope was sitting out because I didn't have another cover for it. And so that's going to segue me into the next topic, which is telescope covers. Not every cover is made the same. Some are better than others, and it's really important to talk about the ones that are worth the good money. So if you've heard of a company called Telegizmos, they make something called the Telegizmos 365 cover, and everyone should be using one of these covers. I use it for my own personal telescope, and I've been recommending we get some for the observatory. We've been slow to action on that. And that's okay. Other things are slow to action here. It happens. It's an observatory. We're all volunteer. It's okay. But we need to have covers for things that sit out in the possible rain, in the elements. Things need to be covered up. There's a reason why we have a dome for the telescope. It's because we can't put away the big telescope. So we might as well just cover it up every night. So we built a giant mechanical tarp for it. That's all a dome is. It's a glorified mechanical tarp. And so we're going to be purchasing a few of these Telegizmos 365 covers specifically for all of our different telescopes. So this one right here, we'll be getting a cover so it can be outside. This one right here, we'll be getting a cover so it can permanently sit outside. And this one here will receive a cover and permanently sit outside. Why would we want that? Because we want to have our telescopes set up and polar aligned all the time. This is not something that we can really go without, because this gives not just myself as the chief astronomer here, but also public. It gives them more than just one thing to look at. One of the fun things about telescopes is that you can point them anywhere in the night sky and have something really fascinating to look at. And there's hundreds of things to look at every night. But you have to get these long exposures to take pictures of these things. A lot of them take 20, 30 minutes to even be able to see any amount of detail. And so that's where it comes in handy, having multiple telescopes. And so we can talk about, 4 different objects at once and have different telescopes pointing at them. And you talk about an object for 5 minutes, and then you go on to a new object and you tell that previous telescope, oh, point somewhere else. Perfect. And then we have a show going. And so that's what we're really excited to have going. That's what I'm really excited to have going, because it's the next step forward. We're just keeping this whole project moving forward, and it's really what needs to happen next. We don't want to just have access to the large telescope, because the large telescope for right now is set up to do telescope pictures, astrophotography, but soon it's going to be doing photometry, and then it's going to be doing spectroscopy, and those are fascinating subjects, but they're not as fun to look at. And so having, this guy set up, having this guy set up, having the solar scope set up during the daytime, my telescope set up during the nighttime or daytime, these are really, really helpful things that allow us to show more of the night sky off to people such as yourself. So that's going to be really interesting. Once it happens, I still have not heard back yet from anyone in the parks department on getting the cloud key installed. Very excited for this once it does get installed, but we've got a little bit of time to go until that does happen. As I mentioned, I'm going to be out of town this weekend. Luckily, I had a chance to come and film this video, even though I'm super busy right now. But you guys will be hearing more from me again next week, and videos will start picking back up. Hopefully, I'm going to be putting them out every single day. And also this weekend, I'm hoping to get some of the cable networking cable and connectors and such ordered, so we can keep moving forward on those projects. So it's going, guys. It's coming along. And with this rain, we're hoping that it's going to be taking out enough of the smoke. It's going to help suppress these fires, that it's going to seriously improve our conditions, and we can have the telescope pointed up at the sky during the night and have lots of stars to look at. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that the weather turns around. And this is kind of a rambling, longer format observatory vlog than we're used to. I'm probably going to edit some of this down, but we'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on Monday. Talk to you guys soon.